Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Thanks for coming in. We sure appreciate it.
My pleasure.
My name's Becca, or Becky. I go by both. I answer to both, whatever you like. This is pyrography. And the difference between pyrography and wood burning is just that. It's burning on wood. Pyrography is burning on different surfaces including wood, like watercolor paper, leather, boards, cork, all kinds of different things that you can actually burn on. So I have a few examples up here that I'll be showing you too. First thing that we want to talk about is the safety, because these little babies right here get upwards of 1,500 degrees. So they will burn you and cauterize you at the same time. So I want to just pass these around. You can take them home or leave them, whatever you like. But always, this is so important. This, you want to have a stable surface to burn on. You want to be on a table with a straight back chair, something where you're not off balance. I won't tell you that I burn in my recliner with my burner on my side table. But anyway, I'm used to my burners, so that's okay. Of course, keep your burner away from flammable stuff. Tie up your loose hair. When you walk away from it, turn it off. Because my daughter did not do that. And she bumped it and burnt a hole in her chair, instantly. It was just, So anyway, that's just a few things. The main thing too is these are finger protectors. When you hold your burner, this finger gets really hot.
That's good.
Yeah. So these are hard to find. These are real thick plastic. I tried these, but they're very thin. But what I've ended up doing is using both, like this. And it really helps my finger. My daughter uses them on her thumb as well, because she holds it close down here. It's hard to get used to because you really need to hold it back. And if you're used to drawing, a lot of times you're drawing, closer to the tip, but the heat will send you back, I promise.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, so the burner that I use is a coal wood. This is a coal wood detailer. I have two. And it's a mid-range type of burner. It's not the best, and it's certainly not the worst. But it's been an amazing machine, just amazing machine. And I have a little printout of a few tips that I like to use. I've highlighted the ones that are, most of them that are in my kit here. And then that's just some. You can buy this with a set, but usually the set you end up not using half of them. I bought my first burner, this coal wood, and I bought 3 tips. And then I decided, well, I need more than that, so, I bought some. I still use those 3 tips almost exclusively. And I started out with a little, it's called the Walnut Hollow Versatool. And these are wire tips. And a Versatool is a solid tip. They're very, very different. I burnt up 2 of them. the Versatools. They just don't get hot enough for me, and I just had them on full blast all the time, you know. But there is a couple of artists out there that do amazing work with that tool. One of them is Manissa Robinson. She's amazing, but I don't know if she just got a good one and I got a couple of bad ones or what, but I like my coal wood anyway. Let's see, me and my little notes here. Okay, the surfaces are really important because some woods are just not good to burn on. This is my favorite right here. Let's see if I can get this. You can feel, and just pass this around. This is a Baltic birch, and that's sanded down to a 600 grit. And I get those from a place called woodpeckers.com. And they're amazing. They're just quality wood. And you can get this stuff in all sizes. You can get cutouts and all different kinds of stuff. I also use, I don't think I brought any. Well, these here. The turntables and the wall hangings. This is 1/2-inch birch plywood, just from the box store, like Home Depot. And birch is good because the grain is very light and you don't notice it when you burn. Like on pine, you have grains coming through the wood, and in between the grain is really soft, and then the grain is real dense and hard. And when you go over it, you leave, you know, you don't get a good line. It's just, pine is awful, my opinion, but anyway. Birch and maple are the best. They're the lightest wood with the best grain. Okay, and then we have watercolor paper, and it actually, you have to burn hotter on paper than you do on wood. That sounds kind of like an oxymoron, but yeah. But I take pictures that I've found and lighten them up on my computer and print them out. And I have all the detail and everything. I mean, I cheat. I mean, if there's a possibility, I'm going to do it. But you can burn right over this, and like this right here, this one's finished, and it's,
That's beautiful.
thank you, it's so easy, you know. And the good thing about burning on paper is that you don't have to store all these big pieces of wood. You can just put this in a folder or something, you know. But it burns differently. You know, my favorite still is wood. You can get more shading, variations, and things like that. But the paper, it's exceptional. I like it a lot. There's a place online where I get a lot of these patterns, and it's called Raspie, RASPIEE.com, and they have a few free patterns, and then they just have hundreds and hundreds of selections, and they come in groups like lighthouses or flowers or houses or whatever, and you can get anywhere from 40 to 100 pictures, good quality pictures, for like $3 or $4. So I've got a lot of my pictures through them. And then you can find a lot of them online, just coloring pages, free coloring pages. And those are so fun to do. You know, you just print them right out on your watercolor paper and you're ready to go. And this one was a picture of our lighthouse that I found, and I took it into a program called Sketch Photo, and I made a pencil drawing out of it. So it's ready to burn. Okay. So I talked about pine. It's, a lot of people use pine and they do well, but it's hard, it's very hard to use. Of course, dark wood is hard, like walnut and things like that. Especially, I did a burn on some walnut, and it came out very well. And I thought, well, I'll just put some resin over it, you know, and it disappeared. It disappeared. You could not even see the burn. It just, the wood darkened up and it was gone. So it was awful. Yeah. So oak is very, very hard to burn on. It's so hard, but at the same time it's porous. Like, you don't want to use oak as a cutting board because it's a hardwood, but it's porous, so, you know, bacteria and all that. And it's the same for burning. It's just, you almost just can't get it to show up unless you just, you know, burn out your machine trying to get it to show. Sanding is so important. When I get these these from woodpeckers, they come in and they're nicely sanded, but you want to take it down. I go down at least to 600 grit, sometimes 800. And then sealing, it's all about what you want to do. Like this one, I just put polyacrylic over the top of it. This is my husband's Jeep, the part of the front of his Jeep. And then this one, and like, you know, most of my other stuff, it's got resin on it. And resin's amazing. I can go down a rabbit hole with resin.
Just a quick one, do you take precautions with a mask and breathing?
Yes, absolutely. That was another thing I wanted to talk about in the safety category. P95s or N95s, they're amazing. They're the best thing to use, or even a respirator. Even your cloth mask that we used during COVID. It's really a good thing to use. Ventilation is very, very important. You can use a fan, but you don't want to point it at your burner because it'll cool it off. You know, it'll start surging. You know, you don't want a lot of cool air directly on your burner. Let's see. The different tips are, let's see. Well, after our demonstration here, I'll show you guys which ones I like to use the best, because you won't be able to see them from back there. But there's three. There's three that I use almost exclusively. If you guys have any questions, please let me know.
When you were talking about using the grain in the pine, I was thinking, when I was a sign painter, sometimes you'd have to paint on corrugated steel, and it was horrible.
Oh, yeah.
It was really,
yeah.
Anyway, that's what made me think of.
Yeah, that it's the same thing like when I was using the Versatool from Walnut Hollow, that, you know, before I bought my Colewoods. It's frustration. I mean, I've been burning since I was a teenager, but I would use those, you know, cheap little tools, and I'd get frustrated and put it away for 5 years, you know.
Yeah, right.
So I finally bit the bullet and got a good burner, and now I can't put it down. You can ask my husband.
I see that, yeah. Good. Good equipment. Nice.
Okay, so this piece right here, I got too far on it. I was going to use it for a demonstration, and I went way too far on it. So we're just going to do a little bit of stuff on here just to show you. Okay. These pictures here, I don't know if this one makes sense. It's kind of coming up like this to his Jeep.
Can Doc get a good quote? He's a Jeep guy.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Bumper, and it's a light bulb.
There you go, yeah.
There's a light bulb.
And he's got a machete sitting on the fender.
Yeah. That kind of guy, yeah, he's waiting for anything,
Very nice.
tree trimming.
Yeah.
Oh,
But when you have a picture that you like, I've done some portraits too. They're fun to do, but they scare me to death, you know? But you just, when you, like this right here, when I took it into, this was a photo. And so when I took it into that program that made the pencil drawing out of it, when you trace this onto a piece of wood to burn it, you want to just hit the highlights, you know? Just hit the highlights and then just use your, use it as a reference. That's the best way, like on portraits and stuff like that, because it's, you know, you can make them just cartoonish if you go too far. And this is the difference between, this is the same picture. This is on wood that I just traced like the basic outline, and then this is on paper. I just printed it out and burned it. I use, when I color, a lot of people like to use acrylic paints and things like that. To me, it's too harsh. If you're going to burn it, you want the burn to show through. So I use pencil usually, either Prismacolor or, I don't know if I'm saying it right, Faber-Castell. Let's see. But if you just highlight it, you get a little color and it lets it show through. Those of you that do watercolor would be perfect. I actually have watercolor pencils and they scare me to death. I can't control them. So I use them, but sparingly. But these are the ones that I found show up the best on wood. Prismacolor is good too, but I prefer these. They're just a little bit softer, I think, maybe. I'll leave these out so you guys can look at them. Okay. So this piece right here, I do my own drawings, and I was going to leave all the lines on it to show you, and I forgot and I erased them all. But I start, this is probably another demonstration, but I start with a dot, and then I draw a mandala on there. I make grids this way with a my little drawing book here. But I use a protractor. And I mark it all the way around, draw the lines, and then I use a compass to do the, you know, graduated lines out. And you just draw what you want in each square all the way around. Draw another line larger, and then you have another grid to do some more designs. It's wide open. So anyway, that's what I did on here, and I was going to leave the pencil marks, and I didn't. So I usually go through, when I'm doing mandalas, I usually go through and outline the whole thing, and then I'll go back with a shader on a pretty high setting and do whatever I want in a dark, real dark burn. And then then that's when I erase everything and then go back and do the shading. And let's see where I'm at here. Okay, we'll just do this.
It's quite fast, isn't it?
It is. But it's just a little bit of shading and it gives you so much depth, you know? That's what I like about wood, because on paper, you can do it, but it's hard to get the different tones, you know, on the paper. It's a totally different technique on paper, but it's, you know, it's fun, something else to do.
I was expecting to see flames.
Well, I won't say that there hasn't ever been any. But that's all there is to it. It's just so fun and relaxing, and this tip right here will do a hard burn. Let me turn it up a little bit. And this only takes seconds to change temperatures. I just love these burners. Okay, this will do a hard burn. See the smoke coming off of it? Or you can turn it down, or a lighter touch. Yeah, I'm gonna turn it down. And then you can do your detail shading. Then you can turn it sideways and draw lines. You can do like real sharp lines with the side of it.
Do you want her to
Side of
aim for
the tip.
aim for the?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
There we go. Okay, and then have a tip puller here. I use a glass Pyrex bowl, so I'm not melting anything.
Right.
Okay. So this is my go-to tip right here. This is a number 1 ball. It does all the outlines for me. And this one, is so good for doing any of, these aren't sounded real well, so you'll have to excuse me. Not the best wood in the world. I'm gonna let you guys play with those. Let's see.
I gotta get in here for the newsletter here. There she is.
That's a great picture right there on the video.
Do the same thing?
Yeah. Where's her?
They're not, huh?
Well,
You want to move it once at a time.
Take another picture. Any articles for the newsletter, like send pictures to Steve Slaisner. He'll really appreciate it. I'll send them to the.
But anyway, I've turned it up where you can see it.
She's freehanding it, she's winging it.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's good.
But it's, when it's up high, it'll start jumping, like making, like this. And it's not even.
Yeah, okay.
You have to get the flow of your hand,
Right,
the temperature of the tip,
right.
the pressure,
Sounds like a welder.
but all that needs to come together, and
Yeah.
it's just practice, it's just like.
I have a question.
Yes,
How do you fix a mistake? Because I always make mistakes.
Wait a minute.
you know what I do? I incorporate it,
Okay.
because,
Yeah.
because I don't normally do things like, the portraits and the pictures, they're okay, but I like to do abstract, so when you make a mistake,
Yeah, you
nobody
can
knows.
just change it.
So, right, yeah. But I mean, it's the same thing with a picture or a portrait or something like that, just incorporate it. It usually works out.
Okay.
There's other ways too. I don't know if I brought it, but I have a little cheater in here. Oh, let's see, yeah, there it is. I forget what this is called, but it's got a ceramic razor on the end of it. Just be careful, you can pass it around if you like. But you can take that and just,
Kind of carve it out.
yeah, but lightly. You need to go over it lightly,
Yeah.
over and over and over and over until you get the burn, back to where you want it.
Careful, it's
You
sharp.
kind of walk back out.
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah. So,
Question.
Can you take like a steel ruller or some sort of straight edge and follow that?
you can. It's the same thing as long as you've got your speed and the temperature and the pressure the right way, then you can do it. And just put a glove on if you've got a steel ruler, because that thing will get hot.
What about like going on ceramic or copper or some other surface?
I've never tried that.
Ooh,
Hey,
I was thinking,
Hey.
like Steve Slaisner's metal, it turns color with the heat.
Oh,
That would be
that would be beautiful.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be beautiful.
Rainbow.
If you got a heat fade of color, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
Rainbow.
Copper.
sure. Oh, gosh, that would be beautiful, wouldn't it?
Sunshine.
Do like
Copper's
copper,
very good.
a copper mug and decorate
Oh
it.
my gosh, you guys, I'm gonna be doing some research this evening.
We started the ball rolling. Turn off the cameras.
I'm done, see you guys later.
Great.
What about
So how
glass?
does it work
Uh-oh,
on
here we
paper
go.
without
Ooh, look at
burning
that
the
one.
paper?
I'm sorry?
How does this burner work on paper?
You know-
Very light temperature?
No, you actually burn hotter on wood. It doesn't make any sense, but you actually burn hotter on wood.
On wood.
I mean, on paper. So if I was gonna do something on this,
Yeah, what, did you, burn that whole picture? of
This
that?
one?
Yeah.
I printed it out and I burned this much of it right here.
Yes.
The shell and the face?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So,
You can't keep it, so.
see the difference.
Yeah. I printed that one out a little bit dark. This is more of what you would like right here.
That's just pencil?
This is print, out of my printer. I lightened up the picture on the computer and then printed it out on watercolor paper.
They're still really beautiful.
I like it. Trish, you gotta do UP.
Can you do it on glass?
There you go.
I don't know. I've never tried that. I've never tried
Can
that.
be sensitive.
It might break.
I think you can do etching with glass.
Maybe it'll give it a crackle effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Burn.
Unintended crackle.
That was good, put down crackles in there.
And just crush in your hands.
Yeah,
And
to be determined, yeah, put down the to be determined. Here we go. We're working on there.
When I first started out too, I'd always have a piece of wood next to me. When you turn your burner on, you know that it's up to temperature. Test it, you know, before you get to your project. Always a good thing.
so how much are those burners?
These burners right here, this one, the burner itself I think is like $89, $99. And then the tips range from $10 to $20. It depends on what you get. Like the one that I use the most often, every single day, the #1 ball, the smallest, is $20. It's because it's polished and everything. And this is cold wood. There's all kinds of other burners too. There's razor tip and there's burn master, all exceptional burners. Really good.
I have old soldering guns.
Yeah.
From the dark ages.
Yeah,
Would those plug into this?
absolutely. Yeah, you won't get the detail, but it will absolutely burn. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people use soldering guns. And with a soldering gun too, I don't know if it's, the heat is adjustable. That's always important.
Right. It's got, it looks very much like yours.
Yes,
#1 ball tip?
yes. And this is cold, like the papers I gave you with the tips on there. I think, let's see, what is their website is woodburning.com. It's coal wood.
Cold wood?
Yeah, COLWOOD.
Now, you mentioned you could go from a computer image to the stencil, I guess you call that.
Yes, I just put this in my printer. Once I get the picture lightened up to where I want it to be, then I put it through my printer. And
So you can take a digital photograph and do the same thing.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll take care of that question. You've already answered my question. Can you combine a compass with a burner?
That's a big one,
This,
Is it?
There you go.
yeah. This is a cheap Harbor Freight
Is it?
compass.
Okay.
Yeah, I love them. I
Yeah.
love them.
That's a nice tool.
When you get to this size, you know, where's the other little dude just won't, it won't. I have 3 sizes that I use. Like this is the other Harbor Freight. That's the mid-range, I use it, I'll just more than any of them. And then this one is real fine.
A dainty thing.
Yeah, but it'll make the smallest circles. This one is more awkward for me. You know, it might not be for anybody else, but I start out with this one until I'm, you know, a little ways out, and then I go to this one.
Now, are you talking about using those compasses to draw the lines or to attach the burner to?
Oh, no, just to draw the lines. I don't know about attaching the burner to it, but if you do that, please let me know.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
We'll get it
Create something.
Yeah, yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
Oh,
Shorten one step.
because that looks like
Mhm.
it's got,
It'll shorten it one step.
Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, this one, you know, this one will do my great big circles. And I found it a long time ago at Harbor Freight, and I was so excited I almost just was jumping through that store.
yeah.
So anyway,
I've got a string too.
I have a bunch of these that I'm gonna let you guys try. Now, this looks really terrible because I'm in a strange position.
Yeah, sure, I'll show you.
So, please don't look at my work here. I can't really see what I'm doing, but anyway.
Yeah, we look at you.
I'm going to turn this off, and then I'm going to set these out, and I'm going to let you guys come up and play around if you like.
Oh, wow, that sounds good.
Does that sound fun?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. All right, let's do that. I've got a burner over here. Is there any more questions? Can I answer any more questions? I hate for you guys to just sit there while I burn. I can do it. I can sit here all day.
She does.
I do.
Have you seen like lettering templates where you can use,
Yes,
and do some really nice lettering?
yes, absolutely.
Stand back.
Any kind of metal template
Yeah.
that you just want to lessen a step instead of drawing it out and then burning it. If you just want to put a metal template on there and then just burn it right from there, that'd be fine.
I notice when you're showing us, you have a very steady hand. Not all of us do.
Well, yeah, depends on the day. Just depends on the day. Some of my lines end up getting a little thicker because, you have to fix them. But,
Peter may have bigger ones than yours.
this is a, what do they call it? It's not sand,
Crookless cloth.
yeah, it's not sandpaper, but it's to clean your tip. I get sheets of this from Colwood.
Emery cloth?
I used to, yeah. But
Kinda like
what I
what you
do instead is I use like 1500 grit or 2000 grit sandpaper because these get carbon buildup on them. And different woods and how hot you burn, it all makes a difference. So I have these sitting next to me and it doesn't take much. You just like that and you're done. Another good way too is I have a piece of wood at home that was given to me, but it was kind of weathered. It doesn't have a finish on it. You don't ever want to burn on anything that has a finish on it, even oil. You want raw wood. But this wood was left outside for a little bit, I guess. And it's okay to burn on, but it loads up with carbon on my tips very easily. So as I'm doing the dark stuff on there, I have this, all this is a, excuse me, that was me. Oh my gosh, that's my daughter. Okay, Stephanie? All right. So I have this sitting next to me as I'm burning, and I'll make a couple of swipes, it'll load up with carbon, and I just hit it like that, and it just knocks it right off. And this is a strainer, a little tiny strainer for your sink.
It's probably stainless.
Yeah, it's stainless steel, and then this is just a, I don't know, one of those dollar store little ceramic dishes. So, yeah, and you just, a couple of swipes and that's it. That way it won't hurt your tip.
Right.
If you use sandpaper that is too rough of a grit, it's going to leave lines and things on there, and you sure don't want that.
Right, and
Yeah.
the stainless is a ferrous metal will react different than the stainless, so that's really the perfect.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. As you can see, I've got some real dark spots on there. That's where I just wipe it a little bit, and it just comes right off.
Have you ever tried driftwood as a?
Yes, driftwood is really good as well. It depends on the driftwood itself. If it's too soft, it's going to be a chore. But if it's not too bad, you want to make sure that it's dry. You want all the water out of it. Yeah.
Have you ever worked with redwood?
Redwood is very soft. So, and it's hard to get a finish on that too because it'll darken that redwood and
Just turns that red, blah, blah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, it's beautiful, and I have done it, but I don't put a finish on it. You don't have to put a finish on any of these, you know, but it helps it from fading, because wood burning will fade a little bit. Like these right here have faded a little bit, but I did these like 8 or 10 years ago, so.
Nature.
Yeah, you want to keep them out of the sunshine for sure. I made my daughter a portrait of her and her husband. It was just a silly portrait. They were goofing off and took a selfie, so I burned it, and she had it sitting in her kitchen on the wall with the sunshine that would come in every day, and it's gone. It disappeared. But you have to keep it out of the sun. Yeah. So, anyway, any more questions?
No.
Okay.
What sort of paper do you use when you're burning paper?
Good watercolor paper. This is not real good, it's kind of cheap, but good, and I use hot press. I don't care for cold press because the texture, I like the hot press the best. Yeah.